Okay, I think this is working now. I had to restart because I didn't know how to get it out of portrait. Yeah. Okay, now it's working. All right. Hello, everyone. I haven't done a stitch with me in a while, but excuse my noisy light. Anyway, I was here by my lonesome doing a little work on this quilts. This is Quilts by Long Dog Sampler. And I thought, well, why not? Why not see who's online? See if anyone's out there wanting to chat. Often when I do these stitch with me's, I just kind of ramble about whatever's going on. And I haven't really I haven't made a video lately. So the reasoning for that was, well, 2 weeks ago I didn't have a whole lot to show. And then, get a little closer with my light. Yeah, 2 weeks ago I didn't have a lot to show, and then last week I was getting ready for going to the anime convention. So I don't think it's right there. Okay, I'm going to tear this out. And I didn't do a lot of stitching at the anime convention. Anyway, I'll have a lot of stuff to show next week. But I thought in the meantime I'd just put a little video up, a little stitch with me. What is this? Oh no, look at that. Ugh. I don't know what happened here. Some thread came out. I'll fix that. So I'm going to start this off with some repair work. And that's fine. Okay. I had a friend over yesterday who is starting off with cross stitch. So it was kind of fun to show her like some tricks of the trade. And we hung out for a little bit. And did some stitching. Of course, I stitched like 20 stitches to every one stitch that she does. Just goes to show how much I do this. And she asked me, I would show her some of the things I was working on, and she'd ask me how many hours it took for me to do this project or that project. And I didn't really know how to answer her because I don't really keep track of hours. I keep track of how many stitches I do in a day. I try to set goals for the day as far as stitches, or like with these samplers when I don't count stitches. My goal today is to finish this whole house. I started this today and I want to get this whole thing done and everything underneath it before the end of the day. So that's, like, I set goals like that, but I don't often think about how much time it takes. And truly, actually, when I really gave it some thought, I spent a lot of time every night cross stitching. But this is my this is my evening activity. Unfortunately, sometimes I want the evening to start at 10 o'clock in the morning. Lately, there's a lot of stuff I could do around the house for sure, but lately I just seem to want to hang out upstairs in bed and cross stitch because it's so cozy, comfy up here. This is my favorite place to be. especially now, my husband he makes the best iced coffee. So I have a tasty iced coffee next to me and, YouTube up on the screen. And I just don't feel like doing anything. So the laundry can wait. And there are other days that I'm more motivated, but yeah, lately, at least these past few days since we came back from Washington, D.C., I've just not had much motivation to do anything else. Cross stitching is my favoriteest thing to do in the whole wide world. So there's that. Okay. I'm gonna fix this. Sorry, my camera's right by the clamp. My camera holder is right by the clamp for, sorry, it's so wiggly. Wait, hold. Steady as she goes. So, what is new in the neighborhood? Been kind of off the radar. Believe it or not, I used to be really into following politics and stuff, and I don't know, they make you feel like the world is gonna end, and it's gonna end soon. So I got sick of worrying and panicking all the time, especially when COVID started, and there was a lot of scare tactics that were going on in the media. And then with the election, this last presidential election, once that ended, I said I'm done. I'm done with watching the news, watching politics. I just needed a break from it. So I feel like part of me, I feel like I have no idea what's going on in the world. And I feel like I have a responsibility to know what's going on in the world, but then the other part of me is like, good riddance. I certainly don't feel more stressed for not knowing what's going on. So I don't know if it's such a bad thing to be left in the dark in some of these things. But I did a lot of commentary on other people's YouTube channels in the past. I did recently do one on a YouTube channel called Gently Led Sisters. I go on channel sometimes to talk about medical things, mental health things, because I do a lot of stuff like that with my profession. We were talking about making the decision to care for your parents, like taking responsibility for the elderly. So it was an interesting topic. Okay, I'm going to work on this 3722. So I was on there last Monday, and sometimes I feel like I like to go on live streams and stuff to hear myself talk. Because I don't often get a lot with my own live streams. I don't get a lot of commentary. I'll sometimes get viewers, but nobody asking or saying anything. So basically it's a one-sided conversation, which is fine. And sometimes people just, I think, watch these just to have something to watch while you're stitching. Believe it or not, I don't watch a whole lot of FlossTube. myself. I know a lot of people out there watch YouTube cross stitchers while you're cross stitching. I personally don't do that at all. I watch, sorry, I'm wiggling again. There. Okay, now let me actually start stitching a little bit. Anyway, I watch mostly lately. I mean, I go through phases on things I like to watch on YouTube, but lately I've been really into watching people play horror video games. So there's a lot of people that do develop video games for projects, for hobbies, for class, for college. And a lot of them, I don't know if it's just the class requirement or a personal interest or the community demand, but there's just a lot of horror, independently developed horror games. And then there's YouTubers that exclusively play these games. So the YouTubers I watch are John Wolfe, CJU Games, and Manly Badass Hero. These are the three YouTubers I watch that play horror genre Let's Play video games on YouTube. And I mean, another person that's more well known is Markiplier. He's pretty. I think he's like 25 million subscribers, so he's a pretty big deal on YouTube. He plays horror Let's Plays. So that's another example of someone that does that. But I don't watch him because he's just very loud. He's very loud. He says smooshy poo, and I don't know, makes up weird, cutesy words that are cringy. I think he appeals to a younger audience. I am 40, so I don't really. I mean, he doesn't appeal to me, basically. So the people I often watch are more my age, but I thought it would be cool to actually make a horror game, an independent horror game. I had come up with some ideas, mainly if I could make one, like if I had the resources to put together a development team and make my own horror game, it would be a mental hospital, which is, I know, kind of cliche. Anyone that's ever watched horror games, especially independent horror games, they love mental hospitals as a medium in which to design their horror game off of. However, I worked in a mental hospital for 5 years, so I would actually design mine like a real mental hospital and make the horror element the psychosis. Like, often people have psychotic breaks in their early 20s or late 20s. Oh, sorry for the wiggle. Just grabbing my delicious iced coffee that my husband made me. And my favorite snack, everyone talks about their stitchy snack. Where the heck is my, it's back here. Sometimes I stuff it behind my pillow. Gosh, I can't find it. Oh, there it is. Oh. Ta-da! I'm addicted to nerds. They say you are what you eat, am I right? But anyway, I would do a horror game where people have psychotic breaks, and I've seen this so many times where they live a completely normal life. A lot of times they're enrolled in college, and then they're under a lot of pressure to perform. They have exams coming up. A lot of times it happens during midterms or finals, and the pressure just causes them to have a mental breakdown. And what that entails is that the like they get disconnected from reality. They might even have hallucinations. Sorry about the noise. I'm gonna eat a little nerd here. They might have hallucinations, or they lose the ability to speak. Like they become so psychotic, they become nonverbal. They might become incontinent. Someone that is completely and fully functional 1 minute might develop such a severe psychotic break that they lose the ability to use the bathroom. Isn't that crazy? It's just fascinating what the mind could do and what happens when the mind stops working properly. So anyway, I'm really into video games, but I'm only into really watching them. I can't really dedicate time to playing a video game and cross stitch as much as I want to. Okay, I'm done eating in your ear. I have so many cross stitch projects, and I have intentions of starting more. And I don't know, I like working on these. This is like sometimes there are times that I finish with a goal I set out for myself, especially in some months when I have a lot going on and I just kind of scale back what my goals are, that I'm not as demanding of myself. So I might get the goal for the day done and have a lot of extra time on hand, and I think, oh well, I'll play a little video game, because right now I've been playing Paper Mario Origami World, or Origami King, I think is what it's called. And so I'll go and play like a half an hour of that. But, or I'll practice my mandolin. But, when I'm done with all this stuff, I'm thinking maybe I could go back and get a head start on tomorrow's stitching. Like, quite often I return to cross stitch after I kind of touch on these other things. So it's not as though I don't want to do this, but I still like to watch video games. That's why it's just easier for me to watch someone else play and get that video game experience. It's such a I'm so grateful that they are still allowing YouTubers to play video games without them getting copyright claimed, because if they took that away from me, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'd do with myself. I don't know. Sometimes I like to watch, when I watch floss tubers, I watch Joyfield Stitcher, Ginger Gerald, Kindred Stitcher. Like, I am subscribed to some floss tubers for sure. I just have to be in a mood for it. And also, I can't watch that stuff when there's anyone else in the room, because they whine. They do not. Like, when my kids hang out with me and they want to watch something together on YouTube, that is just not an option. Because I won't hear the end of it. So I just got out of the habit of watching floss tubers, but shame on me because it's kind of like what I do. I should support everyone else that does it too. All right, I think I'm done with this color. This house is coming together for sure. I'm going to do these windows. That is, if I look on my color chart, U is $37.99. Okay, let me tie this off. So I think I'll just do, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out a good amount of time for a video. Like some of my videos, they range from 15 to 30 minutes, depending on if I'm blabbering. And then sometimes I think they're too long. I talk too much. And I censor out, like I cut out a lot of just the stuff I'm talking about that doesn't really matter, that I feel like isn't that interesting for you guys to hear. So I reduce when I make my update videos. I reduce sometimes what I'm saying, and then I wonder if they're long enough. Like I don't know, because some of these people their videos are like an hour and a half long, and they talk a lot about their lives. I don't know. I just don't I don't talk a lot about what's going on in my life. I do a little. I shouldn't say don't talk about it at all, but I don't give you a play-by-play because I don't think it's that interesting. Plus, I mean, I deal in death. You know, my predominant profession is my predominant profession is hospice. So mostly what I do is help people die comfortably. I do not help them die faster. Somebody did ask me that during one of my guest appearances on another person's channel. We do not expedite the dying process for sure, but we do make it more comfortable. And then I also, once somebody dies, I pronounce them, I might dress them, take out any like Foley or Foley catheter or tubing or whatever they might have in their bodies before the funeral home comes and gets them. So, I mean, I think the process of that someone goes through to die, to die naturally, not suddenly, but natural dying, it's kind of fascinating to experience, but I don't know how many other people might feel that way. Death isn't a popular subject, I don't think so. So it's not something I go into detail about with my videos. I might brush on it briefly. I will tell you one thing that's been going on in my life, and that is bats. I am being plagued. So we had bats before. We hear them. So my bedroom is technically the attic. It's a finished attic. And then there's a drop ceiling with a crawl space above it, which basically just has the air conditioning ductwork in it, the heating and air conditioning ductwork. So we had bats before. We actually had bats come into the house on three different occasions. We had bats come into our actual living space, and we had to like remove them from the house. And let me tell you, on TV they don't look so scary, but when they're flapping around inches above your head, freaks me out. Freaks me out. So the last time it was in my son's bedroom and it kept swooping down. I think it was trying to, like, I just have this, I envision the bats like getting caught up in my hair and then eating my head as it, in panic, it like bites my head, because they just fly so low. And oh my gosh. Anyway, so these bats were up in the crawl space, and I wanted to get rid of them. I don't want to spend a lot of money. I've read on, like, I Googled information about bat exterminators, and they said that exterminating, like getting rid of the bats, can range anywhere from $400 to $8,000. Well, I don't want to spend $8,000 on bat removal. I mean, I would cry. So I'm trying to figure out how to deal with it myself. And one of the things that was suggested is a machine that emits high-pitched screeches, that that are too high to be heard by dogs or humans, but can be heard by rodents and bats. So I got this machine and I stuck it up in the crawl space, and immediately I stopped hearing bats. The bats vanished. And I left it up there for a week just to be sure. And yeah, and I never heard them again. The bats didn't come back. So, okay, great. Well, I had a cord dangling from my drop ceiling because the machine has to be plugged in. And I didn't want to leave it like that, so I pulled the machine down and turned it off and packed it up. And that was, I don't know, 3 weeks ago maybe? Well, everything was fine and dandy until last night. It was like bat house party. Like they all just, it's like they went on vacation and they just pulled in with the minivan. And it sounded like there was 20 bats up there. Like I could hear at least, I mean, certainly more than 2, because they were in multiple locations at the same time. Just this little pitter patter, flip flap of feet and wing. And I thought, oh crap, here we go again. So I got out my machine and stuck it up there. And I know the problem is there's got to be a hole, a bat-sized hole from the outside world into my attic that is just open invitation to these creatures. And they seem to be prevalent and most active. Sorry for the bumping. They seem to be most active around 3 in the morning. It's like that's when they're coming in from the bar. All the bars are closing and they're staggering back home and getting their nightcaps going. 3 a.m. So I have to wait until 3 a.m. to see if these bats have flown to greener pastures again. But I'd hate to have to permanently have this cord dangle down from my drop ceiling. And I hate to have to like install it up there permanently just to make sure these bats don't come back. So I'm not sure what a better solution would be. I mean, the thing has been effective, but I feel like it's a temporary measure, and I dread the prospect of spending a massive amount of money on a permanent solution. So I've been hearing all kinds of wild tales online, like spearmint, garlic, like they're freaking vampire bats, like all these things that would detract bats from returning to a location. So I suppose, mothballs. I heard mothballs might work. I suppose there's some different ideas, but I I don't know. I don't know what to do yet. Anyway, all right. I'm gonna do this other side. I want to listen to this though. My speaker is saying that it's giving me a big red line when I am playing. I want to make sure I'm not too loud. It's saying that. Oh yeah, no, I'm not too loud. Okay. All right. I would ideally like to do this is the third row. There's, I think, five segments, house segments to this pattern. And I would like to get this third one done this month. It's a lot of stitching though. It's going to be a lot of work. So I don't know. There's still a lot of other things I have to work on. But I don't know, maybe I'll skip something else. Another project to spend more time on this one. To try to get the whole section done this month. Because I would really like to get this done by the end of the year. To give to my mom for her birthday. And I think I need to, so the three things I want to finish is the peacock sampler, Hello Pumpkin, and this quilts. And I think I need to just make sure I touch on each of these things significantly. I mean, the peacock sampler, I don't think I'll have a problem doing. I'm more concerned about working on the border, especially because part of the borders needs to be done in December, and December is going to be when I'm starting, getting 200 stitches established on all my new projects. Because I plan on doing. I mean, there's already talk of no new starts 2022, so I'm plan on doing that, and so that means I need to have everything started by the end of December. And the rule is you have to have a minimum of 200 stitches on a project to have it qualify for the list. So I want to start 5 new projects. So right there, that's 1,000 stitches that I need to dedicate. A minimum of 1,000 stitches. Gosh, I cannot wait to start something new. My friend came over with her new project, and I don't know. I started like the first couple stitches of it to show her how, and I thought, does this technically count as a new start? Am I like, have I broken the rules? But it's not my project. I mean, I did start it, but it's her project. I was just showing her how to start it. So I chalk that up as not breaking. I haven't failed the no new starts challenge. Anyway, but getting that new unblemished linen and putting it in the frame and everything, it was just, and putting those first couple stitches on it, it was just really exciting. Something that I can't wait to start on my own. But dinner is ready.
Hey.
Alright, I'm going to finish this live stream because my husband brought dinner. But thank you for anyone who's watching, and I'll see you in the next video.